Friends, we might have barns full of grains, but abundance comes in different forms. Your position at work, your small business growth, your educational achievements, your influence in groups, these all are good. They are good things. But when they make us forget God or look down on others, we've already started building walls around ourselves instead of bridges. Hello and welcome back to Let's Talk Scriptures with VIP, the podcast where we dive deep into God's Word and uncover truths that shapes our daily lives. I am your host, Vitalist Imabon Patience, and today's episode is titled Trapped in Abundance. It is inspired by one of Jesus' powerful parable, the parable of the rich fool in Luke 12:16-21. This is a message that speaks not just to millionaires or billionaires, but to every one of us, no matter where we are in life. Luke 12:16-21. And he told them this parable. The ground of a certain rich man yielded an abundant harvest. He thought to himself, what shall I do? I have no place to store my crops. Then he said, this is what I will do. I will tear down my barns and build bigger ones, and there I will store my surplus grain. And I will say to myself, you have plenty of grain laid up for many years. Take life easy. Eat, drink, and be merry. But God said to him, you fool, this very night your life will be demanded from you. Then who will get what you have prepared for yourself? This is how it will be with whoever stores up things for themselves, but is not rich towards God. This rich man was trapped in abundance, not because having much is wrong, but because his wealth became his prison. He thought his security was in his barns, his grains, and his plants. He forgot the giver of the gifts. Friends, we might have barns full of grains, but abundance comes in different forms. Your position at work, your small business growth, your educational achievements, your influence in groups, these all are good. They are good things. But when they make us forget God or look down on others, we've already started building walls around ourselves instead of bridges. Some of us were born into comfort, what people call golden or silver spoon, diamond spoon, you can say. That's not a sin, but it becomes dangerous when it makes us see others as less. Let's consider the story of Job. Job 1 verse 1. In the land of Uz, there lived a man whose name was Job. This man was blameless as the Bible records. He was upright. He had integrity. He feared God and he shunned evil. Job had great abundance, wealth, children, honor. Yet when disaster struck, he responded. You can see that in Job 1 verse 21. Naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked will I depart. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. May the name of the Lord be praised. Job understood what the rich fool did not understand, that abundance is temporary, but God is eternal. From this parable, we see three major traps of abundance. Firstly, forgetting the source. We can see Deuteronomy chapter 8 verse 18. It says, but remember the Lord your God, for it is he who gives you the ability to produce wealth. Closing our hearts to others. This is the second trap. Abundance should flow outward in generosity, not be locked away in bigger bands. Lastly, pride in self-sufficiency. Proverbs 16:18 says, pride goes before destruction, a haughty spirit before a fall. Here's my counsel. Don't be a rich fool, and don't be a poor fool either. If you have plenty, remember it is God's gift. If you have little, trust him and stay faithful. In both cases, aim to be rich towards God, living in gratitude, humility, and generosity. Remember, the real danger is not in having abundance, but in being destroyed or trapped in it. So as you reflect today, ask yourself, Am I trapped in abundance? Am I holding tightly to what I have? Or am I using it to glorify God? In the end, when the banks are empty and the accounts are closed, only what we have is Christ. What remains actually is Christ. Thank you for joining us on today's episode of Let's Talk Scriptures with VIP. I believe you've been blessed by this powerful topic, trapped in abundance. And I believe you've been able to reflect on your life to know the areas where you have to adjust, the areas where you need to ask the Lord for mercy, and then think on the things that you can do better. Till we see in our next episode, remain rooted in God's word. Remember to like, to share, to follow, to subscribe, to comment, and to tell someone else about this powerful podcast. Thank you. Till we see again. Bye.